ragu.
Amazing first sentence of the fucking thing.
Beef ragu.
It was just ragu.
Damn it.
It stopped
Damn it,
buffering
it's
right
supposed
then.
to be
Oh my god.
penis.
Right.
Penis ragu.
Would you like some ragu?
Sure.
I shall be getting 2 bowls of ragu, one for me and one for my sons,
Why are your cats eating ragu?
because I love them.
I want cheese on mine. We did find out that the cats unplugged their feeder because they fuck with the feeder every single day.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
And they
The
unplugged it
hubris.
and went like a day without eating because
Icarus.
we didn't realize.
I can't believe it's broken.
I guess
So they played themselves. Their gluttony caused them to starve.
Oh, I have an ability called spatial tampering,
Mm-hmm.
and then another ability called Air to Series Freedom. And I was scrolling, and I swear I saw spatial tampon, and I'm like, oh. I didn't think I went into that great a detail on Nadinia, but okay.
I'm trying to think of what the implications of that phrase is.
Facial tampon, the perfect tampon. That's all I can think.
I was just more thinking it can absorb anything as much
Also,
as it needs.
That's what I was
never
saying.
has to be
It's
changed.
Okay. Well, that's not perfect because if you don't change it every 8 hours, it just kills you.
I mean, Skylar, work on it.
Okay.
Skylar, you want to make tampons apparently? Congrats.
Make the most high-tech tampon you can.
I'm the
If you want,
greatest
you can
artificer known on this this I don't know dimension, and I'm making tampons.
And you know what? Like approximately 50% of the population needs them. It's not the worst business model.
It's true.
If you want, you can work on that instead of your mech.
No, it's okay.
All right. Think you're making a mistake, but okay.
You know, I bet Bel-Air has really cool high-tech tampons.
I'll let Bel-Air have that market.
Honestly, I'm not sticking anything Bel-Air makes up my hoo-ha.
That's what I was about to say.
The first thing that popped in my head was rock candy tampons. He would definitely have that.
That would hurt so much. That would hurt so much.
I feel uncomfortable with the energy we have brought to the studio today.
Just get some Pop Rocks.
Once you pop the
Hey
fun
girl, that pussy
stop.
popping.
Hey, that's not Pop Rocks. That's an STD.
I can only imagine that would suck. Anyway.
So we had everyone kind of do their last minute things before basically trying to get whatever you can, resources, people, alliances, anything you could before this kind of final showdown. We had Nadinia, who went with the Huntresses, who was able to kind of get them to join. Thank you. We had Quinn, who was able to help smooth out some of the things going on in Marai, who were able to recruit some warlocks from the Red Rioters, and who we will finish up beforehand of Trixie, don't let me forget.
Okay.
Hey, Alicia,
Yeah.
we gotta fix Trixie. Finish Trixie. I'm making sure you're not forgetting.
I'm gonna bring Michael back just for you.
Hey!
Yeah.
I'm down to punch him in the face again.
Oh, that fight with him was such a clusterfuck. I think someone was a rhino at one point.
That'd have been Connor. I was riding
Right.
Connor.
Maple was a crab.
Crab.
Iris had gathered the other Starcalled. Maple and Skylar had gone to the Feywild and had gathered their own Fey army while Skylar worked on his super weapon. We also had kind of a nice touching moment back at the temple between Iris and Maple, and then also with Skylar giving his gift to them. And we hadn't quite finished up on it, but oh my god, I had such a brain fart. My head said mice, and I'm like, no, not mice. That game's not even going on anymore. Kira went back to the Eldrick house where she had been working on figuring out a way to convince them to join. And while she was working on it, she learned a bit more about her grandfather and what he might have been planning for his demise. And despite what she had seen with it, she decided to go through with part of the ritual and burned her book, and nothing happened, and now she's no longer a wizard.
And nothing happened. I
Oh,
hallucinated.
and then her grandfather came back as a cool fucking ass book lich.
Bitches love books.
Got that bitch a book.
Liches love books.
Got that lich a book. Liches love books.
Liches love bitches.
Damn right.
Well, except your grandfather. He is very, very much gay. But he showed up, told you he was going. Well, you had this nice kind of reunion that he then said he was going to handle some things on his end and disappeared while you were left in his office to either go to sleep or to work more on the dissertation that you had planned. I have a question for Kira. After doing this, after burning her book and her grandfather coming back and telling her, like, you know, basically how close at one point she was to just becoming a vessel for him. And all of this, and him telling her that basically he got to learn who she was, and he realized that he didn't want to take your life, he wanted to be a part of it. What is, and again, he just kind of instantly flies away. What is going through Kira's head as she is sitting on the ground, the ritual circle still around her? Like, what is going through her mind?
Well, she's very relieved that, one, she was right to believe in him after all, and that she'll have help in coming days, and she's excited to meet him properly. And well, it's mostly just relief, I think. It's just like, yes, good, doubts dispelled. It's gonna be fine. I think that's her vibe.
Okay. What does she decide to do? He's not going to come back for a couple hours.
I think she's probably pretty tired. So, I think we were gonna have her go to bed. I believe that was what we were.
Okay. Are you
To-
sleeping in the office or back in your room?
In the office in the hammock.
Okay. You go to lay on the hammock and you see a bunch of carvings in the wall by it. Like someone who was sitting there or laying there a lot, would just carve different things into it. They're different dumb things. You see like a couple of dicks, you see an anarchy symbol, and you see very crudely Hector was here.
I bet.
You turn in, Kira, this kind of wave of relief over you where you don't feel so alone. Your dream is restless and full of anxiety. When you wake up, there is a blanket on top of you. Um, Nothing fancy, just a nice, kind of comfortable blanket. And you see your grandfather, this kind of humanoid figure that is created out of pages of books, almost like they were layered on top of someone in a kind of paper mache. Um, he has a bunch of books that are kind of floating around him, that he is basically making them come to him. He's reading some of them and then like flicking them away and pulling new ones. Seems like he's like reading or doing research on something.
Yeah, this is the morning, as far as I can tell.
It's difficult to tell in the room.
Mm.
It seems to be kind of like early morning.
Hmm. What time is it?
He goes ahead and kind of flicks his wrist and this glowing clock appears, like just kind of floating ethereally. He says, looks like it is about 5:30.
Ugh, good. Lots of time left.
Of course, I wasn't going to let you miss it.
Mm. What are you working on?
Just double checking some things. While my vision's been good, it hasn't prepared me for everything that's happened. Trying to catch up.
Great. Um, have you found anything that you think I have missed?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Did you find anything you think I've missed?
Oh, I haven't gone over any of your stuff.
Well, I mean, just that might be helpful in the disposition.
Nope, I have complete faith in you.
Okay.
And he gives kind of a smile. It's very hard to get with a drawing, or like a paper mache thing. You see wrinkles that you think are kind of probably supposed to be a smile.
Yeah.
And he floats down a bit and he puts a hand on your shoulder and he says, Kira, there is a lot I have missed and a lot I haven't seen, but there has been some things that I know. And I know for a fact that you don't need my help on this part. I've already taken care of the stuff that needs to be, but for this, for convincing them, for all of that, I have complete faith in you. I know you can do it.
Thank you.
He nods, starts to float up again, and he's like, "So Quinn,
Yeah. Well, what about?
have you gotten engaged yet? I can't remember what time that happens at.
Oh my god.
Oh, are you already married?
No,
Oh shoot, I hope I didn't miss that.
no, nothing like that has happened. Either of those things.
Oh,
It's
why
a lot.
not? He like floats closer. Why not?
There's a
You
lot
haven't
of
got all
things.
day.
There's a lot of things happening right now. That's all. A lot of things to think about.
Listen, you never know when it's going to get cut short. And he kind of gestures to himself. You don't want to miss out on milestones, ones that really make something worth it.
I'll keep that in mind.
You are together at least, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, thank goodness. Do you have the kid yet?
What?
Ah, clearly not. All right. He starts floating back up again.
This motherfucker, like, stop spoil. You know how like upsetting I would be if someone spoiled my real actual life to me? Be like, bitch, don't. What the fuck?
You spoiled the
This is a Netflix
proposal.
show.
You've spoiled the marriage. You spoiled the child.
I think she just flabbergasted.
Kira dies.
Anyway, what would you like to eat? He's like, the methods can bring basically anything. What do you want? Pancakes, waffles, oatmeal.
Uh, crepes
Muffins
sound
it is.
good.
All right, crepes.
Yeah. Coffee.
They basically bring you guys breakfast. Not that your grandfather can eat or drink. He does take some coffee and like holds it thoughtfully, but doesn't drink it.
Uh-huh. He
He
emotes with
acts like
coffee.
he acts like he's drinking from it, but he's clearly not. Maybe he needs just the proper accessory, you don't know.
The idea, the vibe of coffee.
The vibe.
It,
What's that?
uh,
Sorry to yell at the cats not to break their fucking cat food thing again.
they're still at it.
They're still at
I think she starts working on the thing that I wrote for her to write to present.
Yeah. She starts working on it, and eventually it gets close enough to the time that your grandfather puts his things away, lowers himself down, so he's like maybe an inch off the floor. You realize, and it's kind of funny to you, that your grandfather's not that much taller than you. And part of it might be because he's floating.
Well, he's also like a book.
Funny you should mention that. He looks to you, and from inside of himself, because the inside of him is hollow, he pulls out what looks to be a leather-worn book. It is black with like these dots on it, kind of like stars, and he hands it over to you.
What's this?
Well, You wouldn't be a proper wizard without a book.
And she opens it.
It is completely empty. It's full of pages, but they're all blank.
Right. Yes, I will need it to actually write my spellbook. Once.
Don't worry. I can help you out with it.
Thanks.
He then offers you his arm, and, well, are you ready to meet your fate?
As ready as I'll ever be. Yeah, she'll take a start.
Yep. He happily leads you to where the main conference room is. You get there before most of the other people do. He goes ahead and kind of ushers you to the front. It's this kind of front lower area where there are things like a chalkboard, like there's a long chalkboard. There seems to be some sort of projector thing you could use. And there is a podium for you to speak at on a higher level than you, so it looks down on you. There is a large circular desk, very imposing, where there's a seat for each of the heads of the different schools.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
Yep, you see name tags set at each of these places, kind of listing their names, and you watch as Amadrax goes over and kind of flicks Oprix's name off of that and sits himself down
Did
for
you,
Fuck yeah.
divination.
did you speak to the headmaster after I did?
Of course! Where do you think I was gone for?
I just wanted to make sure I kind of did throw you under the
I
bus.
was crushing a man's hopes and dreams. It takes a bit of time.
Sometimes it's for the best.
Well, he's awful anyway.
I'm sure he'll be a good historian.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Just laughing to herself.
One by one, the various professors come in and take their seats. Some of them seem surprised by Amadrax there. Others of them do not. When Percilar walks in the room, he gives you a very, very pointed glare, but is surprised to see Amadrax, and you see his eyes kind of light up a second, like it did when he saw Nadinia.
Wait. That's not good.
And he says, Amadrax, my dear friend, it has been far too long. I like your new form. Very interesting. Tell me, how are you keeping yourself together? As he kind of gets close, and you see Amadrax kind of like just nonchalantly like wave him aside, just being like, oh, paper mache and glue. Just not bothering to interact with him, which pisses Percilar right the fuck off. He sits down in his assigned seat and keeps trying to pry Amadrax for more information, which he seems to just brush off, much to Percilar's annoyance. Eventually, the room fills, and the last person to come in does, that being the headmaster himself. He comes in and gives you a smile, Kira, and takes his seat at the head of the table. He looks down at his kind of papers he has in front of them, and he says, today we have 2 points of order for this emergency meeting. I would like to thank all of you firstly for making time in your schedules and your classes for this. Our first point of order is a dissertation from one of our students, Miss Kira Roslin here, who wishes to ask for the Eldrick House's aid in a calamity that is going on in Marai currently. Miss Rosalind, you have the floor.
Thank you. As a member of the Eldritch House and of Marai's Starcalled of Istis, I am here to petition the Eldritch House for aid to prevent a catastrophe that I earnestly believe will bring about the end of all life on this plane if left unchecked. I speak of the approach of the being known as the Yellow King towards Morai to arrive in approximately 5 days' time. As some of you are already aware, the servants of the Yellow King were present and at least partially responsible for the accelerating fall of West Hari to the sea. I speak of the sea elves, which I have since been able to visit in my travels with the Starcalled, and we have thankfully freed the majority from that servitude. But there is another party, native to Morai, that seeks to dismantle the social order by force, and whose members have rapidly begun to develop magical abilities as warlocks to the Yellow King. Spontaneous development of magical ability in Marai's population has masked this to the authorities, but it is clear that something greater is happening. It's worth its own investigation, surely to be made more difficult if Marai meets its unfortunate fate. What we need to save Marai is twofold. On his way to Marai, he is bringing a storm. That storm is making airship travel very hazardous for Marai. My fellow Starcalled are petitioning for aid elsewhere, and teleportation magic would ease the logistics of our efforts and be of great help. More importantly, I am asking for the direct participation of the House of Spellcasters in the defense of Marai proper from the minions and manifestations of the Yellow King. Apart from the opportunities for study afforded in Marai during and after this coming attack, and the humanitarian effort to preserve life from an immensely powerful entity's violent whims, I have reason to believe that if we fail to stop the king in Marai, the consumption of Marai, if it follows the example of West Hari, will result in the king growing in power. We have reason to believe he feeds on life, and since Marai cannot be effectively evacuated, as West Hari largely was, thanks to the storm, the death toll could be catastrophic. And with such a tremendous gain in theoretical power, we can only speculate he will proceed to devour the life that still exists on this plane. That this is his goal, and that this plane serves as a feeding ground for the king, is the conclusion reached by my grandfather, Emberdex Rosalind, and what I have come to as my own conclusion in my travels with the Starcalled. I hope that much is enough to convince you of the real nature of this threat. Thank you.
There is some quiet mutterings between them after you speak. Can you... That was really good, so I'm not... That really was very good and persuasive. It was
Yeah,
a
damn.
perfect fucking Kira speech.
I'm glad. I'm
So,
pretty proud of it.
I would like to ask to go with that, roll persuasion, but with intelligence.
Sure. If my character sheet will load.
Mhm.
It's being weird.
And you can roll your portent if you would like to.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
Just to casually give myself quadruple advantage.
I mean, listen, at this point,
I have to refresh. This is weird. I've never seen this error on Roll20.
hey, are you using Google Chrome? Because it happens to me all the fucking time.
Where it just sticks on the Roll20 logo
Yeah.
over the...
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Because, never encountered that. Come on, load. Well, I can still roll a dice as it is. So I'm going to roll my portents first. Portent 1. Did it roll?
I don't see
Negatory
anything.
Ghost Rider.
What the hell?
Being
Aw.
big stinky.
Big stinky indeed.
Well, apparently you failed.
Roll 20 decided.
Failed
Actually,
to
Kira.
use Roll20.
Well, don't you have an don't
Like I can't
Is
roll
this-
dice or anything.
That made a lot of sense.
Don't dip
I-
dip dip. Yep. Dip,
I have a very bad headache.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
What helps
Jen.
me is I switch to either Firefox or like just a different browser, and it seems to work.
Yeah, Firefox is actually what I use. That's pretty decent. Haven't had an issue yet.
Okay, what I miss?
Kira gave a
Kira's
really good
speech.
speech.
Yeah,
Dang it.
Noah
was
Noah
really good.
gave a really good Kira speech for it.
Dang it.
And now my Roll20 is broken. So
It'll be like around the 30
Oh.
mark in the
Oh,
bottom.
hey!
Oh, there it is. You're rolling.
I clicked
You
the
rolled an
edit
8 and a
button.
4. Damn, bad portents. For
Well, I
what
still
you
have
want.
my greater portent. Come on.
Hmm.
3. Okay, then.
Was I already
Well.
in the game? Wasn't I already in the game?
Okay.
What's this? Oh.
The game is saying you gotta roll this straight.
Sure is.
Don't need that. Don't need that no more. Don't need that.
How many Istis hacks
Actually-
do you have left?
Actually, this is a great time for me to tell you about the fun ability that your grandpa gives you. Because everyone for this end gets...
A fun grandpa ability.
Everyone gets a fun grandpa ability.
I don't want my grandpa's ability.
Communal
Your
grandpa.
your grandpa's ability is elitism.
Am I
Alright.
winning?
I have it set up to roll the thing, even though I can't access my sheet
To roll what thing?
to roll the actual check for the persuasion.
Oh, but sorry, let me explain what your fun thing
Yeah, go ahead.
is.
Sorry.
So everyone is going to get something for the kind of end that we're getting to. I already mentioned Chris's before, which was
Tampon. Rock candy tampon.
You're right. He got the tampon. That actually was
Hell
his
yeah.
entire
Yay.
ability. No, Chris got extra strength and
Yeah.
another thing I can't remember off the top of my head.
Is it the helmet?
Yeah, he got gear.
It was the helmet too, and then there was something else with that, but basically your stats got boosted because you became a huntress. I think it was also the complete flying you get to do now.
Oh yeah, I could fly now.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
um
Anybody want my
I was
socks?
about to say, who wants the socks?
Who wants my hand-me-downs?
what's her sweaty socks
Sweaty
that
fish
she
socks.
I have
wears
wings,
every
You
thanks.
day?
you have to realize I've been wearing one and then like wearing another one as like a glove because
Mhm.
it was
Falls
for my
off.
peg leg.
Yeah.
But Kira, your fun grandpa ability is that when you roll your portent, you can make one of your portents either a nat 20 or a nat 1 for the day.
That's
You have
really
to choose
powerful.
when you roll the you have to choose it when you roll the portents at the beginning of the day,
Mhm.
but you can make one of them a nat 1 or nat 20.
Okay.
Would you like to be God for a day?
Basically.
Well, I'll take that 3 and turn it into a 20.
Alrighty.
But I think I want to just roll this. And it's still broken. Okay. Alright, fine.
I believe in you, Noah.
Oh, can somebody take Marissa away from me? I'm sorry, Iris away from me.
What?
Yeah. He has control over your character sheet.
Oh, that's fine.
Did you listen to his beautiful rendition of you?
Oh my god, no, I forgot. Fuck, I gotta go back and do that.
Noah, why?
Holy shit.
Good job. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Okay, but your speech was so good though.
Do you want to use your Istis hack?
How many of those? I have 2. Yeah. This is important. I can't deduct the number, but
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just changing Iris's thing real quick.
yeah,
I deleted all of her stuff. Haha.
having 1 going into the final confrontation seems like it's on par.
Me.
I mean, you do get the cool portent thing, so
I do, yeah.
Kira is not what you would call sociable, charismatic, a people person. Any of those things. You have always been awkward with people, or standoffish, or anxious, or literally any other word there has been besides confident. But you feel such a rightness inside of you. There are some times where confidence just comes through. And one of those times is when you feel so sure about what you are saying and your knowledge on it. The usual anxiety or nervousness, that kind of fear is gone as you speak. You know that every part of what you're saying is true. There is such a certainty, something that divination wizards, I believe, search for so hard. Just the certainty, the knowledge, the absolute knowing. And you feel it. You feel it as you speak, as you call upon these examples, and you make your case before these people. As you speak and as you look to them and call upon them to step up. You see on the headmaster a small smile. You see, even on his rather expressionless face, you can feel this kind of pride beaming off of Rosalind. Professor Rosalind, that's what I... You feel strong. You feel important. You feel like this is a moment that is hinging on you and that you have control over it. The headmaster, when you are finished, gives a very polite nod as he looks over to Amadrax and says, Professor Roslin, can you back up your granddaughter's claims? This is, quite a creature, being, deity to try to argue its existence. You watch as Amadrax nods. He pulls out something and actually starts to pass it around to the different people. And he says, you look, it seems like kind of a booklet or something. And he says, yes, I can back the claims that she has made. This is a being, a creature that I have interacted with and that I have known about its existence for decades at this point, over half a century. Miss Kira here, along with the help of one of the other Star Called, published this, and he holds up the booklet that you and Quinn had worked on. And he says, for any of those who wish to nitpick at citations, at first-hand evidence, at any of that, are welcome to read it and to allow it to quiet some of your... And he kind of, gives a bit of a side-eye to Pursular, but a couple others as well, and says, please allow it to die down any of your reservations on the accuracy of Miss Rosalind's claim. Beldir nods, and he says, all right, I will open the floor to questions. Does anyone have any questions for Miss Rosalind here about what she has proposed, essentially? You see some of them kind of looking over their things, and you see Professor Lyons. She raises up her hand. She says, yes, Miss Rosalind, I would like to know, while you have made a great point as to some of the reasons why we should go, what benefit can we bring to the people of Mirai? Against such an awful and terrifying creature, what chance do we have of actually doing good and not simply feeding it?
That's a good question. The amount of power that we can bring to bear may not seem significant on its own, but it won't just be myself and the rest of us. It'll be all of those allies that my fellow Starcold have gathered from the Feywild, from Echo, or elsewhere. From the people of Mirai itself. We're part of a greater force here. And the participation of the Eldritch House would ensure that the cohesion of this force is adequate to the task.
You see as the goblin evocation professor, she raises her hand and she says, do you have any kind, or sorry, so do you have like any kind of battle strategies? Do you know what we're going to be fighting? Like this Yellow King, are we just fighting his followers? Is he gonna crawl himself out of the ocean? Is he the tentacles?
I could provide more detailed accounts of the minions that we have encountered, and yes, I believe we will be fighting large tentacles. As those are what have been spotted.
You see Pursler raise his hand with a bit of a smirk. And he says, while you have definitely painted a very, well, poetic story and motivation behind this, it is difficult to fully grasp the idea of us losing so many of our precious, precious students to this. The Eldritch House has never gone to, well, essentially gone to war. We have made sure to remain neutral towards any countries, kings, and any sort of this before. We even have tried to remain more neutral towards different catastrophes and calamities. We have not interfered with West Hari sinking. We have allowed that to continue as it is. Why should we risk ourselves and risk our position as a neutral force of knowledge for, well, a backward city very few people care about?
Are you asking what's in it for the college?
I'm more saying that we have a position to keep, one that gives trust, that gives for people, for us to be able to work with everyone that we can.
Indeed.
This would be jeopardizing all that we have built, all that we have stood for.
I respectfully disagree. The Yellow King is not something you can negotiate with. It is not a power relative to Morai or the provinces. It's a god. It's not something we can simply ignore. It's something that can exert its influence upon us, whether or not we want to or not. We can do nothing as scholars and purveyors of knowledge, or we can use that knowledge to protect everyone from this threat. What use is knowledge that is not used? To know for knowledge's sake is all well and good, and neutrality sounds good. What are we neutral against? What pitched conflict is occurring here? Nobody that you would work with will be alienated by this decision.
The
Only that
headmaster.
which would consume you.
The headmaster nods to this and says, he looks to see if there are any other questions, and you don't see any. No one raises their hand. He looks to you, Kira, and says, do you have any final words before we start the vote?
Hmm. No, I don't think I do.
All right. The voting begins. Beldier looks to all of his fellow professors and says, those in favor of aiding the Star-Called in their protection of Mirai, please raise your hand. You see everyone but two raise their hand. Percilar and Shar.
Yeah, good enough.
He nods and he says, those who oppose. And for this, only Percilar raises his hand. He looks frustrated that it's not more. Beldair nods, and you can see he is kind of smiling still under his facade of professionalism. And he says, on that matter then, it has been decided that the Eldrick House will aid the Star-Called with their venture in Mirai. Work on this will begin immediately after this meeting. Now, on to our second point of order. Professor Amadrax. He nods and he says, you have named Kira Rosalind as your eventual successor for the position of Professor of Divination.
Let's go!
He nods. He says, while Kira has not had the time to focus on her studies, she has an incredibly strong base of experience that cannot be gained from inside these halls. Once her time with the Star-Called is up, I would like to offer her training here in the Eldrick House with studies so that she can eventually gain the educational backbone in order to become a great professor here.
Look, they're like offering you tenure. That's good. Take the deal. That's good.
The headmaster looks to you, Kira, and says, Kira Rosalind, are you interested in the role of successor for the head of divination position?
I think she looks just like flabbergasted, like, huh? Now, huh? Huh? And she like open mouth nods a little, and yes, of course, it would be a tremendous honor.
He nods, and he says, do I have someone to second this recommendation? And you see Ez lift up her hand.
Hell yeah.
And she says, I'll second it. Anyone better than Oprix? Which Beldair shoots her
Why
a look,
not?
and she's like, She just kind of shrugs and she's like, clearly we need a successor. Who knows when Amadrax is just gonna... She just waves her hand at him, again.
Kapoofy.
Kapoofy.
And he nods and he says, are there any opposed? Which, obviously, Ursula raises his hand. As well as actually, Shard does too. Although she adds in, she says, I would be more for it after the training, personally. But the others agree. And Kira, you are named the next successor in line for the head of divination here at the Eldrick House.
Obrix is gonna poison my tea. It's gonna do it.
There's a good chance. Beldair looks to everyone and says, that is it for our different points of this emergency meeting. We will have another meeting here later in the evening, so we can discuss preparations for moving those of the student body that we think are able for fighting to Marai. It is mandatory attendance for all of the heads, along with all of the graduate students. He stands up and gives kind of this bow to you and says, "You are all dismissed. Thank you." And the people start to file out. A lot of them give you smiles or nods as they pass by. Shar seems not indifferent, but like she has accepted that this is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Perciler doesn't even look at you. He just strides right out. Beldair sticks around, and for just a moment, he gives you a full smile and says, "You've come a long way. You did good. That's not the same person that applied to be here."
Thank you, Headmaster. I think she just looks exhausted.
He nods, and he says, "We'll need you for the meeting later. Go rest up."
Of course. Of course.
And with that, Kira, you have fully convinced the Eldrick House to join the fight.
100%. Yes. Yes, definitely.
Even if some of the heads don't agree, they still have to do it.
Yeah. To war. Now I can level up.
Yep.
It's 15 we're at now.
I think so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
So you work with the Eldrick House on getting them over to Marai. Is there anything specific when it comes to that you want to handle?
Oh, I don't know.
What they will basically do is they will teleport to Marai with you and then set up a magic circle.
Mhm.
That way they can directly teleport people to and from the Eldrick House in there, along with supplies and other things that they need.
Yeah, and she'll probably just coordinate with the others over Stone. Like, hey, I have teleport people. Do we have people to move? and hopefully get an answer. Because we have people
Yeah, I
to
think
echo, right?
Yeah.
the second that Kira confirms that we have teleporters on standby, Quinn would start trying to gather the best people to get out of Mirai. The
Mhm.
old, the weak, the children.
I don't know. Some of those
Felix,
children are
but
jacked. That's actually a good question. You have a lot of the children that came back from the Vine stuff that are decently powerful magic users.
No.
I do not conscript the children.
Yeah, like
I
Conscript the
no.
am
children!
asking, okay? I
Conscript
want
the
to make
children!
sure that you have all your options in front of you. What about some of the adults who have gotten magic?
I can script to children.
That's fine.
That's up to them.
If they can prove to me that they have some amount of combat magic.
Yeah, like can they take like a quick like night school crash course on how to kill? Like what are we
I
doing
will
here?
Not conscript the
prestidigitate you
children.
to death.
I
Man,
just
my
need
night
I
school
just need
assassin
evidence
class.
that they can
I'm
do something
late.
other than fly and prestidigitation. It doesn't have to be anything crazy.
I can
Man, those
sparkle.
were very different
Kids.
level spells you gave.
Them
I
kids
know-
yearn
look.
for the battlefield.
Oh.
kids.
Quinn remembers his childhood when he could do shit like fly randomly and light small things on fire. Magic presents in weird ways when it spontaneously appears.
Guys, we can commit war crimes. We'll never get another chance.
We already committed war crimes.
What war crime have we committed?
Yes.
That's not
Yeah,
true.
what haven't we done at this point?
I have definitely used some form of chemical warfare.
You set civilians on fire.
I did also use incendiary weapons on civilians.
Yeah. Wait, Fob wants to know if we've ever done a punji pit. Have we punji pitted?
We have not punji pitted anybody.
What's
We
a
have
Fuck
not
is a
pit?
punji pit?
A punji pit is a hole with spikes at the bottom.
Oh.
Usually.
Oh.
Oh,
We're not that bad.
I think we almost did, but I don't think
Often-
we did.
Coated in either excrement or poison.
Super didn't do that part.
No.
It was used in the Vietnam War.
Quite famously, yes.
Hmm
war crime.
Wait,
No,
hold
this is
on.
not-
Bioweapon. Discuss.
This
I
is
think-
our.
Isn't Quinn's like isn't like the spores kind of bioweapon?
Queen is definitely a
but we-
bioweapon.
Yeah, we used it for
I
good
mean-
though, but like
I mean, you fought the vines; those were,
Definitely
Bioweapons,
Resident Evil
yeah.
BioWs, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
use them ourselves. Anyway,
mean,
no
hear me
children,
out.
yes adults.
Maple is a bioweapon.
Yeah, she's a literal like
That's
psychological
true.
warfare.
that's true. That's fucked up. You're just a walking like fucking what is it, Guantanamo Bay? Just to everyone that you meet.
We're actually all evil if we want to be, but thankfully most of the time we don't.
It's my
Um,
friend, MK Ultra.
My friend MK.
I could just go
Also, let's
cannibal
not
at any
forget
time.
Skylar making the literal like what was it, like the sleep bomb or whatever the fuck that was?
Yeah, that's
He made a
chemical
nuclear.
weapons.
He made a nuclear weapon.
Mm-hmm.
He made a
Oh yeah, he
rocket
actually
launcher.
made a rocket launcher. Yeah, you're right.
He made a nuclear weapon. We don't know what that thing does yet.
I don't know
That's
why
where we're
I'm
at.
being dragged
Oh,
into
fuck, I
this.
forgot.
I'm innocent.
Look,
You
we're not
had
going to
a
put Oppenheimer
literal
on trial.
shadow nuke.
Well, not anymore, but he used to.
He could go get it if he wanted to.
No, I think it like dissolved.
Yeah, but you could go get another one.
I have a bigger bazooka now.
Yeah, he's Oppenheiming a different way now.
That
The
was
point
like
being-
so last month, man.
Is cannibalism a war crime?
Yes.
Are we sure it's a war
I-
crime?
I think it's
I-
just
A crime.
I don't
I
know.
don't think it's covered under war crimes
Because, like-
generally, but
It's just the crime. Like,
In spirit,
guess-
it is.
I guess the question is, are war crimes not crimes if they're not in war?
For a lot of
Yes.
them, no, they aren't actually.
What, really?
Stardew
Yes.
Valley was under a war crime because they had the fucking red X on the town and they had to remove it.
It violated a
It violated the Geneva Convention,
Yeah, that's what it was.
which is different than
you're
a
not
war
allowed to
crime.
misuse the Red Cross symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't use the cross. You can't use the cross in a negative manner.
No,
No,
you just
you
can't
can't.
misuse it. Yeah, it's not a negative thing or anything. It's just
Really?
You
It's
can't
just
use it.
it's just
Uh-huh.
you can't use it.
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
you
Really? I
cannot
thought it
use
was
it.
negative
It's-
manner.
No,
No.
it's any because they don't. It's technically set up this way so that you cannot say have someone wear the red cross in a war zone and people trust them for it. That's why.
Oh, I thought we were talking about um like in I guess media.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
you
This
also
is where
that
it
like
comes from.
you can't wear like, oh yeah, I'm wearing merch with a red cross on it. I
Yeah,
don't
you
know,
cannot use the red cross
Call of
symbol
Duty.
at all.
That would be bad.
You couldn't put a red cross on a Call of Duty thing?
Nope.
Nope.
You'd think so, right?
No,
No.
Well-
I mean, like they're like medic, you know?
Like it makes
No,
sense, like
and
cosplay wise,
that's
but
why
also
they
use
putting it
white
into like
crosses
real life
instead.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
that's what I mean. Like,
a lot of video games accidentally break this.
Yeah.
oh,
and
okay.
then have to change
I
it.
did not know that.
Like
Okay,
Stardew
all
Valley.
right.
Yeah.
yeah,
Stardew Valley, I think, just included it in its update list of like no longer break the
Yeah. The
Geneva Conventions, which is why it got so popular.
That's crazy.
yeah. It's happened a couple other
never,
times. In
I
video game
never
history.
knew that. That's interesting to know. Thank
Like
you.
famously
Yeah.
happened with Halo 1 as
Mhm.
well.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, you know what? It does have a red little cross symbol thingy. It did. Huh.
But you're not allowed.
Neat.
That's just wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. I would think it would be like okay in the sense of like fictional media purposes. You know what I mean? Like hospital, put a cross up on it. You know?
Hospital.
I
It's
think it's
misuse
because
of the mark.
I think it's because they don't want it to go back of, oh, I'm only wearing this because it's in Stardew Valley. It's a reference to Stardew Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It's kind of like copyright, where you can't just copy one little bit of it and then
Yeah.
just not defend it.
Yes, it does, but no, it doesn't. Like, yes, it does. Like, I get why, like the Stardew Valley angle, but like, if I wanted to dress up, like, let's just say as a medical officer, not trying to actually portray myself as one, but like, let's say famous medical officer from Call of Duty game, right? Let's just throw that hypothetical out there. I would have thought that would have been okay. That's not.
No, it would be
Yeah.
okay because the character wouldn't be able to have the white cross on it anyway.
Well, yes, but that's what I mean.
There's
The
red cross
cross,
on them
the,
anyway.
the cross would be on that medical officer because that's what they would wear. But
But they wouldn't
not
in the
allowed.
video game.
And part of it is the red cross symbol is supposed to be trusted and universal so that even if you don't speak the same language as someone,
yeah,
they
it's,
still know that that's,
Yeah. The
Don't kill
same
the
is
healer.
true of the red crescent.
don't kill the healer. That's I know
also
that's
that you can
that's war
go
crime.
to the healer.
Yeah,
You could go to them to get help.
yeah.
Can you imagine you're like wearing merch or something with it and some guy missing an arm comes up screaming something you don't understand, pointing
Sir,
at his
just
arm?
because I'm wearing a medical uniform does not mean I'm a medical.
Excuse me,
medical
I'm a
officer, all right?
social doctor.
Exactly.
I'm
Anyway.
a doctor, not a doctor. I mean, I can help people, but not in the way that I'm supposed to. You just sit around, you got a degree, and you just sit there and you're useless.
But yeah,
I love that line. All right. So,
Fucking love
maybe enlisting adults. So you are going to enlist civilians, those that can show aptitude,
Yes.
right? How are you going
Okay.
to determine aptitude? More of like who is in charge of determining aptitude? Because there's a lot of people in the city.
Use one of the mages that we're getting.
I would say if the mages can get here, yeah, that wouldn't be the worst idea. For people who are spellcasters in the city, Quinn would be willing to do it, but he's probably quite busy.
Yeah.
Quinn would say his mom could do it, but she's also probably quite busy.
We got literal teachers coming.
Yeah, I think the mages that are coming are going to be the best at determining the skill level of people.
Yeah. You have, say, like the guards and stuff too, because you're with buddy with the mayor.
Yeah, that sounds good.
If
Um,
Skylar's part of this decision, he would mention the fact that just because they can spellcast doesn't mean they'll be able to do it while facing a literal eldritch horror.
I don't want them on the front line with this. I want them protecting people with this.
Yeah,
Because being able to spellcast, fine. Being able to fight a monster is a whole different ballgame.
They should be the last line of defense. Like the very last line of defense.
I think the other thing Quinn would kind of insist on is while he is not, I don't think he can scripts anyone. Like, if you want to leave, I don't care if you can cast 6 level spells.
yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I don't care if you can cast a 10th level spells. If you don't want to do this,
I
get
do
out
care
of the
if you can
way.
cast if you don't if you can cast 10th
Hold
level
up.
spells. I do care because that's breaking the laws of physics and God, and I want to know why.
Look, if they're not going to help, if they're not going to willingly help, get out of the way.
If you can cast 10th level spells, leave yourself. You can do that by yourself.
Please get out. Run away. Get out of this dimension. Hell, get out of this timeline. You have the power.
Leave. Go to Faerun or some shit.
There is one thing I wanted to do.
Oh, I will get to that in just a second of
Okay, go
giving
ahead.
people last chances.
Okay.
First, I want to do the Trixie thing with Quinn.
Okay, go for it.
So Quinn, you have Trixie in front of you. I can't remember if I posted the last thing I was going to say with her.
You did not.
Okay. So you said to her, "Oh, please, I never learned. Besides, it's tacky to bring an army to peace talks. How have you been settling in?" And she says, "Settling. Yes, that's a good word for it. Trixie's very different from Michael, and how he viewed her was complicated. I am the Yellow King's version of Michael's version of Trixie. It starts to get a little tricky after that. Perhaps with enough iterations, I might even become my own person. But anyway, you wish to talk peace when you're about to go to war?"
Yes. I plan on winning the war. So it is best to talk to potential allies before. Make sure we're all on the same page.
How do you plan on winning? I can see how you maybe could hold your ground for now. But how do you plan on winning?
Well, that's part of what I wanted to ask you. How did you win?
Oh, I see. You want to know how Trixie did it? Unfortunately, that won't work for you.
Why not?
You would just give the Yellow King a new form. It wouldn't be the same. Trixie sat on the throne.
That's all.
That's all. Of course, if you sit on the throne, I think he'd just take you over.
No, I'm not interested in sitting on the throne. I don't want the throne. I don't want this land. I want my own. But
And why not give it to me?
we think very similarly. I would not be opposed to that. I am more than happy to let you sit on the throne, though I have a couple things I would like to request.
Requests. What are they?
My request is, I would say, rather simple. I plan on leaving this realm. I don't want to stay. I don't think it's good. And I plan on taking anyone who wishes to come with me. But humans, we're stubborn. Not that I've ever really been human, even when I was more humanoid, I was half elf, but that's neither here nor there.
You mean mortal.
Yes, I suppose that
You
would be
should get
current.
used to saying it. You're no longer it.
Alright. The point being, humans, mortals, they're stubborn. Not everyone will leave. I would request that you give those who wish to stay space to live their lives.
Mm, I need to eat.
I didn't say you couldn't, but don't terrorize them. Don't get greedy.
You should know vagueness won't do well.
I would ask that you do not take from life, from the mortals here, more than you need to sustain yourself. Don't
Hmm.
use this just as a feeding ground to grow in power.
You wish to see me as some sort of benevolent ruler? As she laughs, you watch as her mouth splits wider and wider open until almost half of her face is just this laughing mouth full of sharp needle teeth.
I ask you to be content. Even if one day you turn this world into rot and ruin, leave it at that. There are other places that I'm sure the Yellow King would love to have explored. But stay here.
Is that all?
I would also ask you, help us win the war. To the victors go the spoils, not those sitting by the sidelines.
How do you plan to beat the Yellow King?
I plan on putting up a hard enough of a fight that he's distracted, that he steps off his throne long enough for you to take it over. I plan on bending this world to my reality, to our reality, till he does not feel fit to it. And I plan on using that tooth in the center of the world, that thing that harmed him, to harm him further.
She hisses with that and says, "You don't know what you're messing with. You might attract something far worse."
I don't care. I'm leaving. I suggest if you don't want to attract that, and you want this kingdom, you fight well, so that we do it quick enough that nothing else notices.
Okay. All right. I'm not stupid. I know that once the Yellow King deals with you, and once he eats your precious, precious goddess and moon, I'm next. We have a deal, O Emperor of Fate. Let's hope this is not yours.
If it is, well, not my hardest. But fate's a funny thing.
I will see you when the time comes. Now, if you excuse me, I have a couple snacks to get back to.
Have a nice dinner.
She opens the door and you hear screams inside of pain, of agony, of frustration, and loss of someone trapped in rooms that go on forever without any end, while something chases them. And the door closes. All right.
Doing pretty well.
You guys have gained Trixie as an ally. Kinda. Don't you love what's happened to your character, Jamie?
Not my character anymore.
It's something pretending to be your character.
Mm-hmm.
I think that went pretty well.
Alright. So, I'm going to go down the list. Guys, this is your last chance to suggest or do something before the final day. We will have a moment with everyone on the night beforehand, but this will be like your last time to prepare for anything. Chris, you had something you wanted to say before?
Yeah. I gotta go get my boyfriend out of jail.
Okay, do you wish to do this the legal way or the illegal way?
Okay, we're gonna start with the legal way.
Okay.
And if things don't hurry along fast enough, we're gonna start doing things illegally. Because I'm not leaving Jack nor anybody else to fend for themselves in the jail.
So, what Raymond has actually done is, first off, he has released a lot of different prisoners. Anyone who is in prison for debt, released.
Mhm.
Uh,
I suppose that emptied it out a little bit.
exceedingly. It actually shut down quite a number of prisons. At the moment, he has it set up where basically anyone who is not in there for violent crimes has kind of been released. Basically, on the premise of we are evacuating the city, I can at least do a broad strokes with this. He has set up with some of the guards and such, based upon kind of what they say and different testimonies for prisoners to potentially lighten their sentences if they would like to join the fight. So, Jack is one of the ones who is signed up for that.
I
So
hate
right,
that I hate that I love him for it, but I hate that he's doing it.
so currently he is with a bunch of the guards and um paladins of, I believe it's Helm who is in charge of the prisons, or some of the prisons. Working with them and kind of helping to uh, get ready to fight. Now, you can go to Raymond and try to see about getting a full pardon. You could try to see about getting him released under the program he's in now, basically to Star Called. Or you can just bust him out.
Okay. She would go to Raymond for the full pardon on the um grounds that, like, one, he's doing this thing still, and two, uh he did the other thing, which was save all the kids.
Mm-hmm. Raymond is extremely busy when you get to him. He is just like he it's basically a walk and talk where he is still dealing with other stuff as he's talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
Um and he thinks for a moment as you guys are talking, and he says, I would not necessarily be opposed to signing it. However, Quinn just had to deal with a number of allegations against me and the Starcalled being, well, too close per se, and that Istis's powers or Istis's redemption of Starcalled is too political. The other issue with this is, are you sure that's what he wants? I thought he turned himself in.
No, I don't know if that's what he wants. But I wanted to come to you first. I don't want to talk to him, give him false hope, and then not be able to follow through.
I can definitely pardon him, but as speaking as someone who was looking for their own redemption, sometimes shortcuts aren't what you need.
She nods. Thank you. Nonetheless.
He nods.
Oh. And personally, you've always been a hero to me.
He looks kind of taken aback and extremely touched. I cannot tell you how much joy it brings me to have someone as amazing as yourself believe in me. You and all the Star Cult.
Yeah. And I know people have already said things about it, but sorry about that whole thing. It's hard to know who you trust when, you know, people seem to be trying to manipulate you in one way or another.
He nods. I understand. When it comes to politics, not to mention a deity that messes with your mind, I'm sure there is a lot of mistrust that can go around. I'm glad to have gained it back.
She nods. Well, I'm gonna go find my boyfriend. I'm gonna tell him the good news, and I'm gonna go berate him for joining this little program that you set up. How dare you do that?
I'm sorry.
Thank you for giving him a chance.
Of course. You'd be surprised how many people just want one.
She turns around and takes off.
All right.
Find his boat. I imagine he's on a boat.
No, they're on they basically have turned old prisons that are not in use because all the debtors are free into training grounds.
Oh.
So do you just want to basically recruit him for the Star Cult chapter? Do you just want to talk to him? What?
I want to talk to him about what he wants to do.
Sure. You go in, you talk to one of the paladins. He points you to where the prisoners are that are currently training, and for the first time in a while, you see Jack. He looks good. He doesn't look like he's been mistreated or anything like that. He's wearing some kind of cheaper looking, prison garb. And you see him with this like wooden practice kind of saber as he is fighting one of the guards. Um, kind of, you can tell he's showing off. Um, trying to uh, kind of do a bit more flips, a bit more tricks than he probably should in this kind of fight, but it's sparring, it's practice. Um,
Is he
as
doing it for
you,
morale, or is he doing it because he's trying to show off?
oh, he's doing it because he's trying to show off.
Okay. Asshole.
As you approach, he sees you and he falters, and the guard takes that advantage and uses it to kind of shove him down and get him by the neck.
Wow, Captain, I didn't know you were this new at it.
He laughs. The guard lets him up and, gives him a hand to help him up. As he kind of ruffles, shaking some of the dust out of his hair, and he says, just Don't have my air legs on me. Little rusty, been out of shape. He comes up to you and takes your hand and kisses it. I missed you.
You have no idea how much I missed you. Oh, by the way, and she holds up her leg.
Flesh. He pokes it. Yeah, that's flesh.
I know. It looks exactly like the other one. Well, mirrored, of course.
He nods.
Ignore these as she stretches her wings for a second, and then don't worry about it. It's a whole thing.
He laughs and reaches out and very lightly kind of touches them and says, "How could I possibly ignore even an inch of you?"
Yeah, right. Not in front of the guards.
Oh yeah, you see them all like kind of snickering. And ooh.
I swear I will throw this axe at you. And she says that to the guards, not a Jack. And she'll say, "Well, you got a second?"
He nods and says, "Of course."
And drag him away. Don't worry, I'll give him back.
You hear more like wolf whistles and like jiving, or you know,
Yeah.
there's some comments.
Mm-hmm. And moment she has him away first, and grabs him and the biggest hug possible.
Yeah, he hugs you back.
And then she pulls away and says, "Okay, so, what first? How are you? How was incarceration?"
I think I put on some muscle. What do you think? And he jokingly kind of flexes.
Nadine, stop it. Get yourself your shit together. 2. Uh, I hear you joined Raymond's program, as I can see that.
Mhm.
Is this what you want to do? For sure.
Of course. I want to be in the fight with you.
I hate you so much. I
You
don't
have a
want.
bad way of showing that.
Yeah. I don't want you to be in this fight. But damn it, I know that's what you would want. So here's the thing. I talked to Raymond, and he's willing to sign a pardon. But I know how much this means to you, and so I wanted to come to you about it and see where your head's at about it.
He thinks for a minute and finally says, I don't think I've earned it. Not yet, at least.
You're gonna make a girl wait longer, huh? Okay, all right.
I
Fine.
told you. I want to be a completely different man when I can come back to you.
Well,
One that deserves you. Or sorry, one that you deserve.
okay. I knew it was coming, but okay. I want you out there too. I'm not sure what they're gonna be having you do, but there's some things you should know about what we're fighting, and maybe you can teach it to everybody else.
Okay.
And she'll give as much like shorthand knowledge as she possibly can about what we've gone up against, especially the mine stuff and the water and everything like
So
that.
you just
I just lore dump
fucking
him.
lore dump this poor man. This not that intelligent pirate.
I give him the version that she would give, like,
The Cliff
regardless.
Notes version.
Yeah, the Cliff Notes version, essentially. Look, not even she understands a lot of what's going on. A lot of it is probably like connected to her situation,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, first of all, water bad. Do not drink any of their water. It's all bad. It's got stuff in it, and the stuff wants to eat you.
Right, you lore dump on this on Jack. He seems dazed and kind of overwhelmed, but he nods when you're done.
All right,
Whew,
now repeat it back to me.
Oh, Nadinia, I am nowhere near as talented as you.
No, I just want you to know.
He repeats back what seems to be at least some of the most important parts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, spread that knowledge around, because as many people as we can keep safe, I want to keep them safe.
He nods. He takes your hand and says, "You're going to do amazing."
You think so?
You look like the most badass thing in the skies.
Speaking of which, I need to go get my wyvern. Thanks for reminding me. So 3 things. 1, I love you. 2, she just straight up kisses him and then pulls away, and then she says, 3, if you die, I'm going to kill you. I know a friend that can do it for me. You don't get to.
All right. But if you die, I am going to go to all of your clothes and take off one single button.
Why would you do that? Why would
Good
you?
Good
She
motivation not to die.
just starts pummeling him in the arm. Stop! You're trying to piss me off, aren't you?
Good motivation not to die. Maybe I'll even swap a button for one of a different color.
And then she'll look up and see the little skullfish floating around, obviously, right?
Yep.
And smile and say, I'm glad you took care of him. Keep taking care of him for a little bit longer.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. A lot of people in prison liked the fish.
I wasn't talking to you.
I was just stating a fact. The fish wasn't going to respond.
I try to talk to the fish.
Doesn't respond. It's a dead fish.
Aw. But it's still an animal, right?
No?
Aw. Alright, well, what are you gonna do? And that's it for Nadinia. I think she might like stick around just for a little bit just to watch people and
Yeah.
maybe rough up Jack a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
All right. Nice. Is there anyone else who has something they want to do or prepare before the night beforehand? Because the night beforehand is just going to be emotional shit.
No.
Yes.
No. I don't like feeling.
I have to work on my spell.
So you don't need to worry at all about the time and money
Okay.
that your or your grandfather helps you out with. What this does give you the chance to do is you can rewrite what spells you have. Like if you want to change out a spell that you knew originally, this kind of gives you a chance to.
Golly.
Golly gee.
I will consider that.
Yes. But you don't have to worry, you will get it all done before the night or before the thing.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else?
Okay, so 1, I have a migraine now, so my time is limited. 2,
Mhm.
do we want to like figure out a way to like protect Istis and the loom, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess the loom specifically because that's what he wants to consume, but like that feels like do we try to wake her up? Do we try to like do some 11th hour bullshit and be like, well, splish splash water on your face, wake up, good morning? Like, what, like, is there like a plan? Any unhinged ideas?
You could become Istis.
I don't want to do that actually though.
I mean, that is an unhinged plan.
Well, I mean, my unhinged plan from many moons ago was to try to tap into the loom and reweave her together. But I'm pretty sure when I touch the loom, she doesn't exist. Or no, that's when I touch my loom. You know what I mean? Like touching the loom is bad, but like if all of us weave together, maybe through the power of friendship, and if we all see, here's the thing: if we all get on the loom and Istis together and reweave her together, and we all use an Istis hack, maybe through our powers
Do you
combined,
all be weaving yourself?
Oh my
Beweave, yes.
god.
Yes, incredible. This is the dumb pun you've been waiting to make for 4 calendar years. I think we've cracked it.
Wait. Has anybody seen Power Rangers versus
Thank you.
Ivan
Thank you.
Ooze?
I was thinking of Power Rangers actually when I was making this suggestion. Thank you for picking up the vibes that I am laying down.
I wanna like go like sit in a semicircle or stand in a semicircle and like around Istis and summon our powers combined and this gold
Yeah.
light
That's
enters
Captain
her and
Planet.
No, Power Rangers did it too.
Power Rangers did it too.
But really,
'Cause-
whatever
'cause-
whatever
'cause
early
Zordon
aughts
was hurt.
cartoon metaphor.
Zordon was really hurt because Ivan Ooze came and destroyed the lookout or whatever it was called, the Power Rangers headquarters, and he was all injured and everything. So they had to go get the Ninja Zords, and that it was a whole thing.
I mean, really, show me the difference between these two pictures, like our current situation and the Power Rangers. Am I right?
I just remembered the only quote I know from Power Rangers, and the best line ever, is when they're like, "Who are we supposed to fight?" And the guy's like, "Just punch anyone who's not in a primary color."
Aw, incredible.
That is a line from one of the movies.
That's so good.
That's amazing.
But yeah,
Is
this
black
is
a
a
primary color?
suggestion.
No,
Wow.
he wasn't there.
My man Zach. All right. Anyways, yeah, I actually like that idea.
Like this is something that would be positive because here's the thing, like I we know he was going to go after Istis and the loom. We can't move the loom, but like I don't her being awake is at least better than her fucking sleeping beauty in a castle, you know what I mean?
I don't care like one way or another. To me, I want to have my yarn mommy back. All right.
Me too, dude. Like
I
this
miss
My
sucks so bad.
Yarmy.
my
Where's my
yarmy. I want my
Yarmy?
yarm. I want my yarmy. I want my yarmy.
Accursed.
Okay.
Anybody opposed to it?
Yeah, this is like 100% something like Iris would propose, like half asleep, like frazzled as fuck, and like feel free to like talk her down from it, but like doing nothing is not a good option for her at the
It's
moment.
got like the fucking billboard, like the fucking red
Oh, there's red
yarn
string
stuff. Just
everywhere.
the
She's
what's
yeah,
the one? Pepe's.
Pepe Silva. Yeah,
Yeah. Just like the lines up. She's got like 3 half drunk cups of coffee in front of her.
Oh my god.
and fucking
Who-
like no journey back with me, Alicia, to late 2000 and fucking 17 when at my work desk there is a crossword puzzle about some fucking obscure god names, and on my work time I was paid to decode them, and I texted you, it's friendship, isn't it?
We are the
This
Power
is it.
Rangers.
So
Because
fucking funny.
Skylar is the Green Ranger.
If he came late, isn't he the Black Ranger?
No, it's the Green Ranger originally.
Really? That's the one that came later on?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
Tony.
yeah.
Did I tell you I met the Green Ranger?
That's really cool.
You met Tommy?
No.
Yeah, I played Cards Against Humanity with him. He comes to
the fuck?
ColossalCon every year.
What the fuck?
I do. This sounds vaguely familiar. This is like a while ago, right?
Oh yeah, he does it every year.
Oh my god, I want to meet the Green Ranger. I want to meet Tommy Oliver. He was like my childhood hero. All right.
I don't know if it's
He is-
Tommy or if it's a different Green Ranger. I
Hmm?
thought his name was Johnny or something like that.
Nope.
I mean,
I don't
Jason?
know. No. It might be Tommy. I might just be getting my
Tommy's the
my
Red
names
Ranger.
mixed up.
Tommy's
Ew,
not the Red Ranger. He becomes the Red Ranger.
Oh, you're right. But unfortunately, if it is Jason David Frank who played the Green Ranger who became the Red Ranger, he passed away like
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Oh, he's the one that's dead. I was about to say, this
Oh.
isn't one of the.
No,
Yeah,
I don't think it's
it's
Jason.
him.
I don't think that's his name.
God,
What a
you guys are
fucking
nerds.
bummer.
Not to bring down the mood or anything.
Nah, but he
No,
was
no.
awesome. But Skylar is the Green Ranger. He comes with his own mecha. He
yeah.
came late. He was technically on the bad guy side.
It's
and they were
all
trying
it's all aligning. It's just it's Power Rangers all the way down.
and most importantly of all, they were trying to turn him back to evil. Or into parts. One of the two. We will never know.
Damn, that's crazy.
Anyways, I say let's do it.
Sounds like a very personal decision.
All for one and one for all, everybody. I only have
I-
one Is This hack left.
Me too.
I am not opposed to the idea, but I'm not comfortable taking part. I think, while I have broken free of the Yellow King, I still don't think I should touch the loom.
No, that's fair. If you just kind of want to be there for like emotional support and just sort, just like an overseer. If things go bad, just pull a ripcord somewhere.
Or I can try to rip you all out of your trance state if it breaks bad.
I will give up my final Istis hack
How
for
how
Istis.
how many people would this be their final? I hear 3.
Me.
Me!
I have one.
Yep. Okay.
I have 2 right now.
So the only ones after this that would have any hacks for the fight would be me, Quinn, and Skylar.
Remember when I first introduced these hacks and Chris was like, I'm not going to use any of
Yeah,
them.
he
I'm
was
never
like,
going to
I'm
use
never gonna
any
use
of
any
them.
of them. And the first one he uses was for dancing.
Ever.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, the dance was important, okay?
Never ever.
I don't believe that I said these words, but I'm also a forgetful old man, so
It was
I
like
You're like,
believe
4
that
years ago.
Just like a video game, you have to
here's
hold
the
on
thing.
to it.
Here, I have, and this might be a false memory, but when I first joined, I remember like the first thing that you said to me was, "No, bad. I hate change. This is terrible." And then the second thing you said to me was when Alicia was explaining how the Istis hack works. You're like, "Yeah, I'm never gonna use." So
again, like I
Sounds
said,
exactly correct.
again, I have no memory of this, but it sounds exactly like something I would say.
I mean, we could try.
Let's do it.
Do we want to get like Maurice or any of the other Star
Yes,
Call also
yes,
involved?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Get
Well,
everyone involved.
not the 2 bitches. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Not Romeo and
Why?
Juliet over here. Fuck,
They're
cause fuck
nice.
them. They're so. If I'm gonna be concentrating on bringing Yarn Mom back to life, I don't need that fucking bimbo ass bitch like in my ear. Get out of here.
That bimbo ass bitch.
Oh wait,
Okay,
I
but
haven't met them
follow-up
yet.
question.
I haven't met them yet.
Do you think that they could potentially help? This shows everyone for a reason.
As inscrutable as those reasons are.
Fine, they can come. Everybody, everyone, emergent. You know how the fucking nerds did an emergency meeting? It's an emergency ISIS meeting. Everybody in.
Second
go.
Amogus alarm.
Alrighty. That's a lot of Star
People in
Call.
a room. Yep.
I
have
mean,
a question. Do our signs mean something?
In what sense?
I think they just mean
Annie?
Star Call.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. So I'm not gonna lie, I shaped everything around it.
Yeah, do you remember what yours means?
Yes! Mine means freedom!
The Fool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Is
Thanks,
Skylar
man.
able to join you in this super secret Istis meeting?
oh yeah,
You've
you're
met
you're
her.
an honorary Skark. Yeah,
You're the 6th Ranger, of course you gotta be there.
yeah, all the Power
gotta
Rangers.
ask. He's not a Star Call technically.
And I think like I don't know if Iris should be on the loom or be like weaving Istis together. You know what I mean? Loom seems risky for me specifically.
Maurice insists that he should stay on the loom.
Great.
Literally, the last sentence of the description for mine. They sometimes express feelings of escapism and seem superficial and exotic to others.
Holy fuck.
Like I said, I shaped everything around this.
All right. Well, we give everyone the rundown. Let's let her rip. Let's weave a beautiful
Let's
tapestry.
save Istis.
Okay.
By all her
me
powers combined.
1 second.
Oh no. Guys, if I fucked us over, I'm really sorry.
Okay, I
No.
just need to message Jamie real quick.
Oh no.
If you ever tried to revive a god,
Well, the last sentence in my healer thing is these are cold, blah blah blah. Maybe bring people back to life. I'm like, yes, it's me.
It's you.
I skimmed it though because
my
my head hurt
animal is
big.
a
My head
fish.
hurt big lots right now.
My animal is a
Big
fish, and
lots.
my element is water.
Mine is fire, which is very fitting.
What's Maple's?
She's the guardian. I think hers is an earth one.
Nice.
Which again,
That's pretty
fits her.
close. It's not wood, but might as well be.
Yes, the element of wood.
That is an element. You shut up.
In there is, I think it's like Chinese elements. It is.
Yeah. Earth, wind, fire, water, wood, and metal.
Amen.
I actually think the Chinese one's dumb and it ignores something, but I can't remember what it is.
I don't know if we can really pass judgment on elemental systems.
I
You
can.
never know.
I like them all.
Real talk though, while we're paused, is it cool if after this scene I take medicine and go to bed because I am unwell? I don't
Don't
want
worry.
to.
Don't worry.
I
We would be
want to
technically.
be.
We would
I
technically
want.
be ending in 12 minutes.
I want to be like present for the like night before stuff, and I am not in a place to be
That's fair.
that,
Yeah,
and I apologize.
We're tired.
You-
It's okay.
Guys gather around Istis. She is asleep in her bed just like she was before. I imagine probably Nadinia picks her up and carries her to the loom room. She is so light and feels so fragile. As you pick her up and move her, you see more threads kind of unspin from her and drape down. You're very careful not to accidentally catch these or let them catch on anything as you carry her out. This processional of Starcalled, of those in the past and present, follow behind you, solemnly marching along with the goddess that brought them all together and changed their lives. You head into the loom room, where Maurice is still at the loom. Where do you place her?
I think I would have like set up a little like not like a fainting couch, but like another like little like comfortable spot. Like
Shea
Like a
lounge.
cot?
yeah, a beautiful chaise lounge.
You have like kind of this cot set up, and you walk her over and lay her on it. Maurice glances over to her, just this pained look in his face, but he steadies himself. And you all kind of gather around her, all of you in the front closest to her, as more and more of the Starcalled kind of circle around you. There's this feeling of unity, of being a part of something larger, of this group that has passed down through the years, this calling, this responsibility. As you all gather, Maurice plucks a string from the loom and holds it out to you, Kira.
Take it.
You take it. You hand it to the next person, and it pulls as it goes from person to person to person. Quinn and Iris, do you take the string?
Commit.
Quinn can answer first. I have to think about it.
I've already said no.
I'm just making sure.
Like as much as she wants to, like probably not, right? Like I can't risk that.
It's passed from both of you. It gets back to the end, and the last person takes their bit of string and basically ties it around Istis's finger. Those who are holding it hold tight. And Iris, what do you say? What do you do to kind of lead this?
Oh fuck, I'm leading it? God damn it.
Your
I thought Maurice was
idea.
gonna do it. He's in charge. He's in charge.
This was your idea. You
Yeah?
are the cleric of Istis.
God damn it. I delegated. Okay. I think she would kind of lead. Is there like a Oh, I know what it is. I think if I remember correctly, in some of Istis's like memories that have been wishy-washy and imparted to me, there was like a lullaby or like a song that was present there that felt very like resonant and of her. I feel I feel like I would have become a high school choir teacher before this and would have like taught it to everyone, so like very softly it like turns into a prayer as she would like lead everyone and kind of like singing the song in like communion with Istis and with each other, of like willing her to come back to herself and to all of us.
I am so glad you did this.
Oh no.
As you kind of start to lead this lullaby, this soft song that you don't necessarily know how all the words go, but you know the tune. And as it builds up from person to person, a joining of melodies and harmonies of strings that Istis has all tied together, you all feel yourselves pulled into a vision. You see Istis on a bed very clearly mortal, and you see her dying. You see the man that she loves standing beside her, holding her hand and calling for her father, for her sister, but not receiving any response. She holds his hand as best as she can, but you can tell that it is frail and fragile, and that she will soon depart. Jamie? Can you play the song?
Yeah, it takes a
And
while
if
to
everyone
slow.
could turn That's
Oh,
fine. Can everyone
no.
make sure their music things turned up?
Oh no!
You see as the man leans over close to her and he starts to sing.
When you call to me asleep,
Very quiet.
up the ragged cliffs I scramble. A single thread hangs limply down, and I breathe not now, not now. And I find you all unwoven, trying desperately to sew. And I know the kindest thing is to leave you alone. When your seams have come unknitted,
Breathlessly,
and you cry out to
Istis
sky,
tries to join in
I've run
as
out
best as she
of my
can.
words, my song. Just let me die, me die. The rock rose and the thistle will whistle as you moan. I could try to calm you down, but I know you won't. All the pins inside your fretted head, and your muttered whens and hows, all your mother's weaves and your father's threads, let me rob them of you now. 'Cause I'll darn you back together when you think that you're bereft. And you'll wail, you'll scream, but I'll never stop. 'Cause it's all that I have left. I awake and hear you calling, and up those cliffs I climb, and I find you with a thimble weeping. May I ask, may I? And he gently gifted to me, 'cause you've no clue how to sew. And I know the kindest thing, I pray to God, it's the kindest thing. I know the kindest thing is to never leave you alone.
You see the moment that Istis the mortal died.
When you call to me asleep,
You come back
up the ragged cliffs I scramble,
and you look, see Istis's eyelids flutter
hangs limply down,
and
and I
open.
breathe not now,
That's where we're going to end for tonight.
Oh, hey, fuck you though. Hey, fuck you. You're a terrible person. Damn
Thank you
it.
so much, Jamie.
Mhm.
Ugh, God
Did you
damn.
gasp when she mentioned the lullaby? Because I thought you
Yeah.
did.
I
God
was reading the
damn.
lullaby beforehand because I found all the lyrics, so I was reading it, and I was like, "Oh, this is really cool." And then she was like, "Oh yeah, the lullaby," and I was like, "Oh."
Look, I'm a professional. I have a podcast. I don't know what you want. Listen, I'm gonna go cry myself to sleep now. It was, God damn it.
I hope you had fun.
But what
Yeah,
is
it's
it?
fun.
I'm just gonna mark off in a sack. That's fine.
Oh no, you don't have to.
Oh, I don't.
Nope, you
Oh,
guys can keep them.
oh, that's very kind. But
Thank
is
you
she
for
okay?
posting it.
Is she okay though? Like, yeah.
I will say there's a very good reason why you are not getting why the Istis hack did not take effect.
Terrible. Okay.
But yeah, Istis might be back.
Maybe.
Well, like, okay. See, there's a lot of ethical concerns of she never wanted to be Istis, and like maybe letting her die is better, but also we're dealing with the crisis situation, so maybe we can put a pin in that until like, I don't know, 5 days from you know what I mean? Like
Hey, this is
there's
kind
like
of a bad
question,
time right now. Could you
there's a
die like a
question of
little
consent.
later?
Like, look,
I want my Yarmy.
Yarmy.
Alex, I cannot hear you talking.
That's okay. I'm making curse statements.
Oh no. God damn, you guys.
All right.
Thank you so much, Jamie, for playing that. I appreciate it a lot.
I was like, oh god, it's YouTube. Hopefully I can find it on Spotify, and I did.
What is it from? Because it's beautiful.
It's from a really good artist.
Oh my
It's
god,
like
I
a full
love the
arm.
Amazing Devil. Okay, I
Mhm.
thought they sounded fucking familiar. I love them. Fuck yeah.
The whole
I
album.
heard this song years ago, and I'm like, I'm gonna use this if Istis dies.
It was in 2020 that this song was
No.
made.
Mm-hmm.
So you heard it at the beginning of the
Yes.
fucking campaign.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh, fuck yeah. I love this band. Okay, anyway, sorry. I the emotional
bed.
whiplash.
So bad.
Okay, I love you guys. Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Hold off on ending the recording for just a second.
All right.
But
I had my finger over the button.
okay, I just wanted to. Craig and I are talking for a second, so I just wanted to make sure that
E.
you are all good with that, Trix.
Okay.
Or to an extent, because like Raymond would just give you control. You don't have to hack them.
Oh, I was talking about the ones that Victor Nimoy had.
Yeah, but they were sent here to be given to Nadinia's dad or Nadinia's uncle. So he no longer has control over them.
Okay.
Papa? Dad?
So you don't have to hack them. They're just kind of like available.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Yeah. All right. That was really fun.
E.
Yee.
Do we have titles?
Few. Let me end the recording.